I mentioned earlier on about the fact that I was using magnets. Well, what I've done is I've actually taken the magnets out of this and I put the original springs back in again, so I can show you how to actually swap them out if you decide to get the magnets. And my suggestion would be that you do get them, because they will last for a long time. One of the things about the magnets is the fact that, you know, they will stay magnetic as they are for God knows how long. So it means that, you know, if you're in a year's time, 2 years' time, 3 years' time, when you're actually using it, the resistance when you actually push down on it is going to remain the same. It's not going to change at all. Whereas what can happen with springs is, you know, over time, the elasticity or the pushback of the spring actually reduces. So it means that, you know, you end up with, you know, a sort of a weakening spring as time goes on. So there's something really good about the magnets, that just it is an upgrade, and I'm not quite sure how much they cost. But what I will do is I'll put it up on the screen as to what the cost of the magnets are. But in my view, when you're actually ordering a Nemesis, I think that you should actually get the magnets as well at the same time. So how do you actually swap it out? Okay, well, if we look really closely here, we can see that we have our silver contact at the bottom, and that is a screw. It's got an earring at the side of it, so that means that it's easy to undo. Now you'll also can probably just see just here that there's a pin that is just under the head of the screw. Now be very mindful of that pin. It's a very small thing, and when you're actually taking this apart, that pin could suddenly catapult out of it, and if you lose it, then you're in trouble. So be very mindful of that pin. So basically all we have to do is, if you push this Delrin piece down and hold it with your finger like that, so that means then that we can access the screw. Then literally all you have to do is just undo the screw out of it. Let's take that out. And again, as I said, once you've actually got this out, you can see that little pin there. Be really careful. Let it out very slowly, bit by bit. You can see the pin. No, you can't, because it's just fallen out. Oh, it's just hanging in there now. Can you see that pin? Just make sure you don't lose it. It's just dropped there. It's dropped into the bottom. So that's important. We need that pin. Okay. And then if you can see on the underside here, we have a spring. So this spring can be taken off like that, because that's what we're going to get rid of. And then at the bottom here, you can see that there's another spring down here. That can go as well. So those two springs now are going to be replaced. And what they're going to be replaced with is these magnets. Now this is how I got mine. It basically had a little plastic piece between the two of them, because they're really quite strong, these magnets, and if they were just stuck together one on top of the other, it would probably be virtually impossible to pull them apart. But essentially it's like they're magnetized washers. Now what I have heard from people is that they're reasonably fragile, so that if you drop these onto a hard surface, there's every chance that they're going to shatter, and that's going to be the end of them. So be really careful when you actually take them. So when you have them like that, slide them. The easiest thing is just slide them one apart and then the other apart. Now what you can do is, with your first one, pop it into the bottom here like that. It doesn't matter which one, you know, or which way up it goes. Just put one in and it'll be fine like that. Okay, so we have this one sitting down here at the bottom. Now we need to put the second one in place. Okay, to do that, basically what we need to do is put the second one in so that it is opposing. Now you see when I put that on there, it just immediately sort of tacked onto it, so that's the wrong way. So that means that I need to turn it over, and now it's actually opposing. It's pushing away from it, okay? So hold it over it like that, and then pop in, and again you need to be careful, your little pin. Now what I find is that if you pop the pin in and hold the magnet or the washer, whatever you want to call it, down on one side like that, what it will do is it'll keep it in place. Okay, so that's now holding the pin in place, and that's going to make putting the top part on that much easier. So just for the ease of camera, I'm just going to turn that around a bit like that, so that you can see it. Now, this is going on that side down, so that we have the plastic up. Now, when you look into the inside, you can see that we have the little recess. Now, I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see me doing this, but let's see if I can do this in such a way that you can. Okay, so there's our pin, there's our recess. If you hold it on the opposite side like I'm doing there, the magnet will hold the pin in place. Then what you need to do is basically put the top part over so that it cups the top of the pin like that. And then once you've done that, you can just slide it over like that. And that's now in place, okay? So you've got that in place. You need to hold it and hold it firmly. And then we need to put this back in. By the way, I didn't show you the screws on this. The top one is similar to this except for the fact that it's got a slot for a screwdriver on it. But these are brass, but they're heavily plated in silver. And what this is for, you know, great conductivity, so that really you're getting as much power as you possibly can out of the battery, and you're not losing loads on the way. One thing that does happen with silver, generally speaking, is that it can tarnish. So what you do need to do is periodically check both this at the bottom, this contact, and also the one at the top. Just periodically check to make sure that they haven't got tarnished. And if they have got tarnished, then just clean the tarnish off them so that they're nice and shiny again. So then all we do is we put our screw our contact into the bottom here to hold everything in place. Let it go now. Turn that down until it basically stops turning. And now you have an incredibly smooth switch, which is being run by those two opposing magnets at the bottom. So that's basically how you take these two springs out that come with it and replace it with the two magnets at the bottom.